I wonder if we'll meet Wordsmaster.
That's the author.
Welcome to Inchworm,
the podcast in which we are inching through Worm. I'm Jenny.
And I'm Ted.
And this week, we read Insinuation 2.5.
What were your reactions to this one?
I predicted it.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I don't think it was actually hard to predict. I don't think this was a huge leap, but I did predict it, and I'm very pleased.
Yeah. It, 3 chapters ahead, too. Yeah, very excellent work. I was so happy when you just spelled out the direction, and without spoiling where this goes, the direction that Taylor's intentions.
Yes, she lays them out very clearly.
I will say, when I was first suggesting, what if we did a podcast where we covered every chapter of Worm? Then I thought, isn't there a chapter where Taylor just goes to the library? So I think if we can make a good episode about this chapter, it's only up from here.
This is the test, yeah. I feel like there have been a few chapters in this arc so far that have been pretty, short and low-key. Yeah. And, it's fine. It gives us a lot of chances to analyze Taylor's intentions and plans and personality and all that stuff.
But there was more meat on these bones than I recalled.
Yes. She does just go to the library, quote unquote, but what she does there is very momentous.
So when we last left Taylor, she had been viciously bullied to the point where she decided to flee school. So
For the afternoon.
And when we start the chapter, she's like, well, I don't know what to do. My dad, he could come home at any time because of his schedule. I don't want to just loiter a block away from school. I kind of don't want to go to the bad part of town, like the boardwalk, because I've spent a lot of time there recently. So I'll go downtown. Why not? Go downtown. And she decides when she's downtown to go to the library. This is a good place where she could have sort of public access to a computer and respond to Tattletale. Mm-hmm. And she, thinks a little bit about what does she make of this group? Who might be in charge? And suddenly she has this thought. What if I do she's like, I could humor them and, maybe see what they want to offer me if they're going to do me a favor. But what if I actually did meet up with them and just tried to get some information? Because they like me now. And if they think I'm a villain and find out that I'm a hero later, then that might be upsetting. So I might
feel betrayed anyway. Yeah.
So I might as well try and learn everything I can about them, and then take that to Armsmaster, and then maybe Armsmaster and I can team up and bust them, and I'll have so much cred when I'm a good guy. And so she's noodling on this idea, and decides to reach out and just hey, Tattletale, I'd like to meet, but I need some proof. And within minutes, gets a very extensive reply with a lot of details that proves that it is Tattletale, or, at least convinces Taylor that it is Tattletale. And then also drops in that Tattletale knows that Taylor's at the library, or strongly suspects it.
Will that give you enough time to get there from the library?
Yeah, and she's like, come by at 3, which is this afternoon. And Taylor's like, whoa, what? Am I being hacked? But then, she sort of calms down a little bit and is like, wait, so in this invitation they say you can show up without your costume because we're not going to be in costume. And she's like, this is great. I could actually maybe learn their identities and stuff. That's huge. This is playing right into my idea of let me get some intel on them. So, she's going back and forth on is this a good idea or not? And then someone else wants to use the computer at the library. So she just writes a quick message back to Tattletale. See you at 3. And that's where the chapter ends.
That's it. Yeah.
So yeah, we can, go back, talk a little bit more about Taylor's thought process to the extent that you want to. But
I want to say, just straight off, it's kind of fascinating the way in which we're bouncing back and forth between these two storylines. Mm-hmm. Taylor at school with the bullies and Taylor in the superhero world. They're incredibly divided. The chapters only talk about one thing or the other. It's almost like having a dual point of view, except it's all Taylor.
Yeah.
And this is a superhero world chapter. So she says, near the beginning, she's like, I didn't want to dwell on the subject of school or Emma. And then at one point she thinks of it a little and she's like, I don't want to think about that.
Yeah.
So like sometimes there are little mentions, but like otherwise it's purely one world or the other. And that really does match with what she was saying in the last chapter about how she doesn't want the worlds to mix.
Exactly.
It's going to be tough when it turns out Emma has a superpower.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that also jumped out to me reading this, the compartmentalization she's doing. And I think it's exactly right that she doesn't want these things to mix. Mm-hmm. She feels so bad about her school life that it's like gonna, she doesn't want to be a superhero with self-esteem issues, right? Or like with problems at school, right? Like that's in conflict with that identity. And when she's at school, she doesn't want to think about the fact that she has powers because she doesn't want to like go postal.
Sully her escapism. Oh yeah, no, she also doesn't want to use them.
She's barely keeping it together.
Yeah.
So I just want to give you credit for your incredible prediction.
Thank you. Yes, she's going to spy on them and plan to take the information to Armsmaster.
Yeah.
But she is not telling Armsmaster ahead of time.
Well,
she hasn't told him yet.
Yeah, and I do wonder, I'm really curious about Taylor's decision that she comes to in this chapter, because I feel like she almost starts talking to herself into doing nothing. Or like maybe there's a thing, well, maybe I should go consult with Armsmaster. Maybe it's better to do nothing. Like this is too risky.
Does she think about consulting with Armsmaster? I missed that.
I don't think she thinks about that. Okay. But like maybe if she'd waited longer, she would have decided.
She wants to jump on this opportunity that's presented itself to her today.
Right.
She doesn't even really think like, I should talk to Armsmaster first.
Right.
She's just going undercover without anyone knowing that she's going undercover, which is risky. I think she's going to get considered a villain. It's going to be very hard to disprove that.
Yes. But her decision, it feels like it's, she again connects the worlds for a second. And she's like, maybe it's better to do nothing. But if I do nothing, then I'm back in my like depressing school world. And it's so tempting to go off and do something exciting. Mm-hmm. And in addition, there's the little kick in the pants of like, she's like, I don't know, but this lady behind me needs to use the computer. Okay, fine. And I do like that she's not quite given enough time to fully consider it, right? She's very analytical, but she does, I feel like, end up making a somewhat impulsive choice at the end of the chapter.
Yeah. I was very curious about this person is described as a middle-aged woman in a red jacket stood just behind me. She meets Taylor's eyes and says, "Are you done?" Because there's a screensaver up on the computer. Potentially a throwaway. We do get the detail of the red jacket for no particular reason. So I was definitely
red jacket woman. Keep an eye out for that red jacket.
Is this a significant person? Back. Unclear. We also got a mention of is it Arcadia High? Yeah, nearby Arcadia High, which is Brockton Bay's biggest and fanciest high school. And I was very curious whether that would come into play. Does Tattletale go there? Who knows?
Could be interesting.
Yeah, we know that Taylor couldn't get transferred to a different school. And I suspect the narrative isn't going to want to transfer her because this bullying is such a part of the plot. We don't want to just lift her out of that. But
they did explicitly bring up Arcadia. I don't remember if it was Taylor or Danny's perspective as they sort of were could we get her into this other school? But I think
there's a huge waiting list.
There's a waiting list.
Yeah. So just a couple things that were mentioned that I was like, are these going to come back? Are they significant? Are they just background details? Unclear.
What did you make of Tattletale's reply? And what's the deal with Tattletale?
I love Tattletale. First of all, she signed her message "Tata," which love it. Everything about Tattletale is great so far.
I forgot that she's such a dork. She says, "Don't have to get gussied up if you catch my drift," which is I just feel like not how a teen has ever talked, but it is the kind of person that I would be friends with. Yeah.
Yeah. Her message is just very proof. Last night you didn't say anything until I asked your name. Big guy had a mess of nasty bites. And, is it good enough? Yeah. It has good attitude. I like it. So she responds within a couple minutes. And also she knows that Taylor is in the library. I'm going to guess she's not a hacker because she seemed to know things last night that, she wasn't on a computer figuring them out. I think, she seemed to be reading Taylor's history, her mind, or something about the situation. So she definitely has some sort of knowledge-based power. But she didn't know how to find Taylor. She had to message her on the site, though maybe she knew that Taylor would be on the site. Who knows? So we don't know still the limits of her power. But, her knowing Taylor is at the library is, quite a thing to know from looking at a message on a computer. So
right. And it wasn't much of a message to begin with.
Right. It's not like Taylor gave her a lot of information in that message. Right. And as Taylor points out, she knows where Taylor is, and she's letting Taylor know that she knows.
Right.
So,
and Taylor considers, is that a threat, but ultimately decides it's not a threat because of the rest of the tone of the message.
Yeah.
I do feel like it says something about where Tattletale is coming from, that she clearly doesn't overthink this message. Mm-hmm. Right. And also that it's a pretty aggressive ask. Right. Mm-hmm. It's like, not only did she reach out this morning, but Taylor got back to her and she's like, oh, I want to meet, but I want to meet now. Right.
Yeah.
It's like, it really is, she's pushing to get to whatever the situation she wants to get to.
I mean, we know she has a knowledge-based power. We strongly suspect she has a knowledge-based power. Maybe she knows that Taylor's going to be someone important to them and like a part of their group, which I think she is going to be. So in which case she wouldn't need to be cautious leading up to it because she knows like Taylor's wondering at one point, she's like, what happened to get all of these people together? Was it Gru and Bitch were just kind of doing their like B-class villain thing? How did then all of a sudden they're all together and doing sort of more impressive things? Did Regent or Tattletale unite them? And she's like, I can't see it for either of them. Like Regent does seem sort of like a background, like not exactly a slacker, but like a little bit aloof. Definitely not like a leader of the group. And she says she can't see Tattletale uniting them either, but I bet that Tattletale had the ability to see that they would all work well together. And given how aggressive Tattletale has been at pulling Taylor in, I bet she pulled all the rest of them in and she kind of brought them together. But maybe she doesn't have a real like leadership personality. Like she had the ability to like galvanize this, but maybe she didn't want to lead. You know, Taylor says it didn't really sound like they had any leadership worth speaking about, which will be interesting. If she joins this group and they don't have a leader, like I feel like that's going to be a difficult dynamic. And maybe, you know, there'll be some social complexity there. Yeah. I was assuming Gru was the leader based on the way, you know, he was the one talking to Taylor last night. But yeah, it's, you know, the Animorphs realized it in book 1. You gotta have a leader.
You have to have a leader, yeah.
Especially in action situations.
So your read on her theory about the teen villains is she might be underestimating Tattletale, but probably it's a good read of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know yet, but I think she's underestimating Tattletale's role in getting the group together, but maybe not Tattletale's leadership. Like, that's a very different thing.
Exactly. Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Yeah. She does identify, she talks about, you know, she says, it wasn't hard to sympathize with Armsmaster, wasn't it, Taylor? No, but she says, you know, information is clearly important when dealing with capes, and that's sort of what sends her down this path of, like, I could get information about these people and then give it to Armsmaster, and knowing him, he would probably want to, like, he would love it if, like, he got to lead, like, if I got to help him, or he got to be in charge of, like, a sting, a capture, a takedown, I forget what she calls it. Which I read that, I was like, yeah, so you could give the information to him, and he could pretend that you never did that, and, like, you don't seem to see the danger here of, like, him just erasing you, because then he can get full credit without you being a risk.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if that happened to you, it would be really great if you knew a bunch of, you know, supervillains who owed you a favor in case you were looking for payback.
If you've just betrayed them by handing them over to Armsmaster, that's not going to work.
Well, you know, it's a good point.
He could turn on her just because of the Loom thing, but she's already given him permission to take credit for that, so I don't know why he would bother at this point. She could still be useful to him. Why would he, you know, destroy her?
The thing that I really loved about this chapter was with this compartmentalization thing and kind of bouncing back and forth, the way that she gets into thinking about her plan to be an infiltrator. Mm-hmm. She is hungry. She realizes that she doesn't have any lunch money because
her lunch was in her bag,
which has been abandoned with Sophia and Emma. And then she thinks, I stopped myself before I could finish that train of thought about the boys.
Can't think about that in this chapter.
And put myself into a worse mood by dwelling on what happened at school. Still, as I thought back to the circle of villains in Tattletale's message, the amusing thought crossed my mind that I could ask them to repay the favor by buying me lunch. It wasn't a serious thought, but the ridiculousness of the mental image, me eating a burger with a group of supervillains, put a dumb smirk on my face. I was pretty sure I looked like a moron to anyone on the street that happened to glance at me. And then she goes on to be like, but maybe I could take Tattletale up on her offer.
Yeah.
And to me, it's so well characterized that she has this feeling like it would be good to be appreciated. It would be good to have just some food and some people buy me some food because they owe me something.
Oh,
and then she's like, she starts, the analytical part of her brain kicks in and she starts rationalizing like, how could I feel good? How could I feel good? Maybe I could go. Maybe point. I could go and reach out and do this, and it leads her down this.
Right, she's talking
path.
about how it would be ridiculous to have a burger with a group of supervillains, but she's also picturing having a burger with a group of kids who want her there.
Exactly, that validation
so different
so
from what she's been experiencing at school. Yeah, I read that line and I was like, she's going to get lunch with them. Maybe not lunch, but like. I think we're going to have a scene very soon where she's getting a meal with them and she's like, well, looks like I am doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
I did want to say, Tattletale asking Taylor to show up without costumes, saying we'll be out of our costumes too. Like, I mean, we already said how she probably sees the future here, but like, that's a really vulnerable position to be in. Mm-hmm. Like, their secret identities are really important. And like Taylor said, information is everything. Yeah. This is, it's a big leap for Tattletale. Yeah. I do have a note that Taylor's plan is ironic, given Tattletale's name. But also, given Tattletale's name, I feel like she should see it coming. Interesting. But maybe she has... It'll be really interesting to find out what kind of foresight she has, because maybe she can tell Taylor's at the library. Maybe she can tell Taylor's planning to betray them. But maybe she knows that it's still going to work out for the better for them to have Taylor involved, even if Taylor betrays them or something. I don't know. Very interesting. Yeah, that's seeing several steps ahead. Yeah, I don't know how many steps ahead she can see. The best way to handle a mole is to feed them bad information, right? So it's actually not... Oh. It's not, depending on what your goals are, right? Like, I think the fact that she's doing this doesn't necessarily mean she trusts Taylor. I was assuming it did, but we don't know that. It really, like... It's just the vibe that you get from Tattletale's message and the fact that, like, that's not the kind of message that she had prepared. That was just her. No, off the cuff. She's like, proof, yeah. The bug girl wrote back to me, so just I'm typing as fast as I'm thinking, reply. Yeah. Right? Like, which is not very calculating. Right, which is interesting. Like, maybe she doesn't need to be, especially in this circumstance, but, like, Taylor is extremely calculating. She could be a real asset to a group like this, especially one without a leader. I don't know if I can quite see her as the leader. She's taken such a passive role in so many interactions so far, but maybe she'll rise to it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, after she attempts to betray them, gets betrayed herself by Armsmaster, manages to save them all just in the nick of time. Okay. And they forgive her, and then she takes over as their leader. This is going in some interesting directions. No, I think she'll be their leader before she betrays them. They'll be like, we want you to be our leader. And she'll be like, this is so awkward. I mean, I have to say yes. If I say no, they'll need to know why, and I don't have a good reason, because I'm obviously the best leader because of how I think analytically like this. And she'll say yes, but she'll feel terrible about it. Because, like, even worse to betray a group that you were theoretically leading. But it also looks worse when Armsmaster decides he has to throw her under the bus because she's also their leader at this point. Amazing. And at what point, like, if you were, like, actually leading a group of supervillains in heists, it becomes a little implausible to be like, no, I was spying on them as their leader. Okay, so this is something we can keep an eye on, sort of like, is Tattletale very calculating or kind of going off the cuff? Yeah. Whether or not anyone suspects, like, what are they hoping to get from Taylor at this point? And also, I mean, I think it's because Tattletale has seen them together. Right. What's the red line for Taylor where she can no longer plausibly deny? Right. And will she gradually creep over it? The insinuation is real. Yeah. My prediction, I don't know if we're at predictions yet. I think we can be, yeah. My prediction, I mean, I've already predicted a lot of things in this episode. I predict there is going to be a point relatively soon in this story where she is completely furious with and betrayed by Armsmaster. Like, just absolute fury at Armsmaster from her and from us is my prediction. That's coming for us. All right. Yeah.
Good prediction.
Thank you.
I guess I'd welcome other predictions, but specifically, if she goes to the meeting in the next chapter, how's it going to go?
Oh, I mean, pretty well. I think they're going to get dinner.
Nice.
I mean, no. I think she's going to have to go home for dinner.
Okay.
But I think she will get a meal with them soon. I think she said, Tattletale said it wasn't going to be all of them. Yeah, it's Gru, Regent, and me, is what Tattletale said. So no bitch. Yeah, I think we'll get to know a lot about the three of them. We probably won't find out the full extent of their powers, but I think they will make her an offer to join up with them, or at least maybe like on a temporary basis for a little while, like try it out.
Okay.
And I think she will agree in the interest of getting information.
Yeah.
And then I think she'll do some research into like, okay, who are these people actually based on what they told me and like their faces? Can I figure out their identities? She'll find Tattletale as a student at Arcadia High. Gru, maybe Tattletale and Regent are there. Gru already has he's already known, so there's less that needs to be done there.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. She'll say yes to whatever they offer, and then she'll do some homework.
Yeah, so she'll get pulled into, they'll have something coming up. Some operation that is not like a straight up, like we're robbing a bank. So she's going to not going to feel like, oh, morally, I can't do this. This is going to feel okay to her. But something that they need to do, something that helps them in some maybe indirect way. And she will agree to go on it with them as sort of a trial, like, can we all work together situation. Yeah. And I think she'll consider telling Armsmaster about it, like at that point, like just with what information she has, but she'll say, no, I don't have that much on them. I can get more. Yeah. Yeah. Even though what she should do is go to Armsmaster and say, hey, I'm spying on these people. I mean, should do from the point of view of being taken seriously as a hero and not a villain. Right. Which may not be the best for her because the heroes probably suck. But she should go to Armsmaster and say, hey, I'm spying on these people. I have an in. Here's what I know so far. I will continue to let you know stuff. And she should make sure that at least one other hero knows about this. I don't know how she can do that, but like that would be the smart thing to do. But she is not thinking of the danger of Armsmaster just throwing her under the bus. Yeah. So she's not going to do that. She's going to wait until she has something more impressive to tell him, so that she can go in and like really make a splash with him. Right. So right. And I don't even know if she'll get a chance to do that. I think. Not at this mission, but at some slightly later point where she is more compromised, Armsmaster will catch her and then not believe her when she says that she was insinuating. And she'll say, it was the name of the Ark. And he'll say, I'm sorry, I haven't read that book. So it's too many words. He deals in arms, not words. Yeah.
I wonder if we'll meet Wordsmaster.
That's the author.
Exactly. Great predictions. Yeah. Anything else?
Thank you. I don't know. Should I plot more of the book?
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, I think you've got us at least one arc, maybe two. And, we'll keep coming back to you for
I'm
updates.
Really excited to find out more about all of these characters, especially Regent. We know very little about Regent. Like, we know a lot about even the category of powers for the other three. We don't have that for Regent. So he's the one I'm most intrigued about.
Nice.
Intrigued by.
Yeah.
Right
well,
now.
He's probably going to be at this meeting, so hopefully soon.
Yeah, he seems to be R. Yeah.
I am very happy to report that there are a bunch of names for you to speculate about.
Yes.
Coming up in the next chapter. Tell me about Alexandria.
Alexandria? That's a cape name.
Yeah.
Someone who knows the contents of every book ever written.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Literal
Library of Alexandria.
Mystical library. Yeah. Wonder of the world.
Yes.
Superpower.
Yes.
That's great. That's amazing.
That would be a really cool power.
I'm now wondering, like, if you're, like, writing a book or drafting it, like, when do they become aware of it, you know?
That's a really good question.
Is it just, like, every written word?
Yeah. Yeah, do we have, like, that would be amazing. Like, what qualifies as a book? Right. It would make more sense for it to be, like, can know everything that's ever been written. Right. Because otherwise, when does something become a book?
Yeah, it's really interesting. But that's like, when is something a bug? You know?
That's a good point. Kind of a book is, you know it when you see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe it just has to be bound.
Yeah.
All right. Spitfire.
I mean, it would be great if this is someone who literally spits fire.
Yeah, like the Super Mario fireball out of the mouth.
Yeah, but we already saw Loon do that a little bit. I kind of want it to be someone who spits acid. I mean, I don't know why that would be Spitfire, but it's like a tangential connection.
Spitfire is a better name than Spit Acid.
Spit Acid, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
How about Fault Line?
Fault Line. Oh, definitely someone with like tectonic powers.
Okay.
Can manipulate the earth, cause earthquakes.
Yeah, earthbending of some kind.
Yeah, earthbending, basically. Yeah.
How about Circus?
Circus. My first thought is some sort of like contortionist. Basically, it's not May. It's Ty Lee in Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
The circus performer one. Sort of an acrobatic power. I don't know what else they would be. Could be someone who like collects animals around them, but like we already have Bitch with her big dogs. Yeah, I'm not sure.
And how about Glory Girl?
Glory Girl. Okay. Huh. I mean, what an obnoxious name. I don't think this is going to be an ally of theirs. I'm intrigued, incidentally, that we have so many. Like, maybe they're just talking about these people, but like, how are all these people like going to come up?
That's why we do this at the end after the predictions.
I know, after the predictions. I'm like, how's Glory Girl fitting in here? Glory Girl. I mean, she honestly just sounds kind of like a Supergirl type of like,
okay, yeah,
just like strength, speed, flight kind of thing.
Yeah,
I did think like maybe she has like light powers that defeat like Gru's darkness powers, but like we all have light powers. It's called like a flashlight. Like that wouldn't really be that impressive a power. You couldn't do much with that. So
amazing.
Probably not that.
And how about Aegis? The Aegis.
Oh, what does that mean? That means something.
I think it means shield, but why don't I look it up? Why don't I look it up and tell you, and then we can go back.
It's a great name for someone who makes force fields.
It's usually represented as a
like
shield.
Under the aegis.
But what it means is it means protection or support of a person.
Force fields.
Yeah,
someone who makes force fields.
Yeah. I think like the shield of Zeus is where it comes from. But
okay.
I think it's become to mean, like we are, fighting under the shield of Zeus, as in
metaphorically.
But not metaphorical force fields.
Literal
force fields.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I'm trying to think if there are other ways to shield people. I mean, you could deflect, like kind of like Wonder Woman's bracelets kind of thing.
Yeah.
But force fields seems like the most obvious.
Amazing. Yeah. So we're gonna have a lot of people using their powers on
really
screen
fun names
and
to predict.
confirming them.
Yeah.
Or perhaps being listed off in a single paragraph and not being relevant at all. But only time will tell.
I doubt many of them, if any, will be on screen. Because we're already meeting these three people on a roof. How many other people could they interact with in this chapter?
Yeah. It turns out that there are 12 supervillains in the gang.
Yeah, GR and me means like group one.
Well, yeah, G stands for Glory Girl. R stands for Circus.
Yeah. It's the R in Circus, yes.
Great. Well, looking forward to it.
All right. Me too.
Worm is a web serial by J.C. McCrae. You can read Worm at parahumans.wordpress.com and support the author at patreon.com/wildbow. Follow us on Tumblr and Blue Sky at Inchworm Podcast, or find our Discord link and any other updates on inchwormpodcast.com.